questions on my little diversion into integral theory and use cases? Yes? Yes. Use cases. Automotive banking, charity, cloud storage, commercial vehicles, credit history, cybersecurity. There's a startup on cybersecurity that wants to pool every incident of intrusion into an inspectable, secure, validated, blockchain-based storage for mutual reference. Because one of the problems with these intrusions is you don't get to see what happened to other people to build your countermeasure against. Great way to securely share that. Credit history, what we call recredit, is going to use blockchains and some of the thinking that's gone into securing medical records on blockchains to let you secure your medical history, your credit history on the blockchain. So you would own it, you would have control over who sees it, you would have control over who updates it. You can't change it yourself, but you can control who does. You would actually own your own credit history, and we could all sell short the stock of the three big credit reporting vultures. Let's see, automotive, there's an organization called Test Loop. How late are we going, by the way? I know we're after 1 o'clock.
Maybe until 2, right?
Yeah. I'll go until everyone leaves. All right. Automotive, Test Loop is a Tesla sharing organization currently in Southern California. They're expanding into the Seattle, Portland area. They've been running for at least a year, I believe, maybe longer. And they're moving on to EOS for their reservation system and possibly other systems. They're making, they said, thousands, plural, of dollars of profit per Tesla per month because electric vehicles are really cheap to operate. And they don't own the Teslas. You own a Tesla, you plug it into Tesla, they pay you. Money comes. People just ride and share in Teslas. And they separate out maintenance. You're not the driver and the cleaner of your own car like you are on Uber. You could be the owner and somebody else cleans it and somebody else drives it. It's all mediated through their system. That's one model. Donations, education, energy forecasting, government voting, gun safety, energy. There's at least one, if not several, startups working on energy trading on a blockchain where you plug in your energy producing solar panel and it meters it right there as it's going onto the grid. You get paid as you put money, you put energy into the grid, you get paid. Now they would pull money off the grid and they're paying for it as they pull it off. And there's no central server to have. It's just all maintained on blockchain. Let's see, media, marketing, law enforcement, Internet of Things, insurance, human resources. Several startups to allow for commercialization of various kinds of intellectual property, art, music, where the artists actually get paid instead of all the middle people taking all the money from the artists. And I'll mention, well, legal smart contracts, of course, for cardiac contracts. Insurance, there's a flight insurance outfit. They've been out for a while on a blockchain where traditional flight insurance, you've got to be 6 hours late or later, and you've got to file a claim. And I imagine wait 45 days and deal with them losing your paperwork or who knows what else. I hate insurance companies. And in the blockchain version, you put your money into a smart contract with your name and your Ether address and which flight they're going to be on. And it listens to the FAA data feed. And if your flight is reported 2 hours late or later, it just pays you programmatically. You don't file a claim. There's no army of faceless people under fluorescent lights in windowless rooms working on paperwork. It's just done. No overhead. What? How cool is that? Medical, healthcare, EOS, one is a bunch. Hashed Health is creating an actual marketplace for healthcare services by using the ERC 721 token standard, the CryptoKitty standard, to create an immutable, tradable right to service. And it's hard to explain. You have to listen to the podcast and listen to it. It's wild that they're going to bring price transparency, price discovery, and price competition to American healthcare provision. Crazy, crazy stuff. Another one is for medical. You have to re-credential every 2 to 3 years. If you're a hospital, you've got to All your doctor's been there 20 years. Every 2 to 3 years, you've got to re-credential that doctor to prove that they got their degree from Johns Hopkins 18 years ago, whatever. And that means you have to send paper to Johns Hopkins, and they send you paper back. And it takes 45 to 180 days to credential a doctor, and you can't have them work on patients until they're credentialed. And if they do work on patients, you can't get paid. What if you could credential in an afternoon? Well, there's a startup working on getting doctors credentialing. Blockchain driven, so everyone's protected, all the rights are protected. They own their credentialing info, and they can sign it digitally and send it to you. You don't use it for the purpose you ask for it. And then if you want it again, you got to pay again. So they got their income stream. They don't have to do a paper anymore. They're thrilled. So that's going to do good things. Yep.
I like the example of travel insurance. It means like can be $30. That's how much I pay for travel insurance, correct?
I have no idea. I've never bought travel insurance.
It always comes up when the Expedia, it's at the bottom, features whatever. So can you tell me how much it would cost to buy insurance?
Not a clue. I'm going to find out.
Like if it's based on some kind of cryptocurrency, I mean the most speculators. You know, to decide how much this insurance will cost me and how much I will get back.
So I would imagine that you would be happier with a service provider that lets you buy and receive money in fiat. Put this money on.
At least I know how much I pay and how much I get back.
So there's an insurance opportunity right there. You would buy your travel insurance if you denominated it in fiat. Get to work coding that. This is a solvable problem, not worry about that.
I would like to hear the solution if this solves the problem.
Oh, yeah. Oh, please. I'll take you offline. Real estate, I can't count how many startups are doing real estate tokenization. So you can have a chunk of real estate, you tokenize it, you buy shares of it, you can participate in real estate and not be an owner. Wills and inheritance, any kind of legal record, the ability to prove that you can find Uncle Joe's will. Other use cases, voting, luxury goods provenance, logistics and supply chain are crazy bad for blockchain solutions, notary registration, bearer instruments, on and on. Network effects are going to be important. Our blockchain does have very wide distribution. The token's been distributed for almost a year, 350 days worth of distribution before it ends. Wide pre-launch adoption by developers. We're seeing some pretty good uptake from the development community. Expecting that to be